Hi everyone, it's me Triana, and I'm here to talk about my teaching philosophy. I started out by talking about my experience as a student and how I was inspired by a lot of the teachers I had growing up, specifically those I liked, but also some of those that I didn't like. I feel like some of the best teachers I had were the ones that were really intentional about looking past some of my less ideal attributes and characteristics, the things that I struggled with, and they really saw the potential in me. I wrote specifically that I firmly believe that those in the classroom today will lead the future, and I would love to be a part of that formation process. My goal is to be a stable figure in the lives of my students. I want to be someone to look up to and to learn from. I then go on to talk about my experiences in the classroom as a teacher and as an observer over the last 7 years. I wrote that I want to validate my students in their opinions, beliefs, and experiences. I want to pay attention to any individuals, um, not any individuals, but all of them as an individual, who they are, who they want to be in the best way that they learn. I wrote, I will pay attention to those who fall behind and those who soar way above the expectation. In addition to paying attention to their individualized status, we'll take time to check in with them and ask them how I can show up for them. And then I wrote on to say that I want to make my expectations very clear, but also I want to challenge them to be the best versions of themselves. I really think that in schools we thrive off of relationships, and I want to promote relationships with peers to create an overall supportive community. And then I also wrote that I want to give parents the freedom to be as involved or as not involved as they may wish, depending on wherever I work. I know that situations are different. I grew up with a single parent myself, and while my mom was an educator and she really did her best to be as involved as she could in what I was doing day to day, with me being the oldest of four siblings, I was the one that kind of was on their own because I didn't have to be worried about. So I want to really pay attention to not only the students that I have in my classroom, but their families and what they have going on at home, because I know that everybody really is in a different situation. And then I kind of went into talking about myself a little bit. I know that when I'm a teacher, I want to be working on myself constantly. I grew up with ADHD, and I've always had the tendency to talk really fast and to say a lot. I wrote that because I'm aware of this tendency, I know I have the ability to hone in on my message and be concise when giving lessons. I plan to work on this skill by doing as many speaking opportunities as possible. Whether it's a class project or opportunities at my current job, I plan to continue to do public speaking at every opportunity that I get. And then I ended it talking again about my experience and that I was so grateful to receive the education that I did. Without the teachers and friends I fostered relationships with in those 13 years, I could not have been where I am today. My education inspired me to achieve not only for myself, but for all those I come into contact with in this lifetime. I want to show my students all that my education gave me and give it right back to them.